In the first year, I guess that would be the spring of 2010. That was the first time. So it was a 5-day program. There was 40 students or so. The teachers that I mentioned came in. It was mostly held indoors, so it was lecture kind of based. That summer, myself and 3 or 4 interns developed a couple more gardens out on Loyola campus to accompany the tea garden that already existed. So that happened that year. Then the following winter, I worked on writing a paper for a class, and that was basically kind of, I guess, I haven't seen the paper in years, but it was kind of this model that currently exists right now. And I brought it to Jackie, who currently runs the City Farm School. We talked about the idea of doing this. We approached Sustainable Concordia and Jen Davis, who is one of the main people who is managing it, along with Faisal, different people, and we all agreed we would like to try to keep doing this. So then that would have been 2011. We decided to try to launch this model that would be 8 months long, the whole growing season, and essentially you'd have a workshop or 2 every month throughout the whole year. And so that year, we went out and we gardened there, and I think by late in the season, we actually started a market that year. And we were also working downtown. We were actually on Mackay, I think it was, yeah, we were gardening there too, and that's where some of the interns were. We did a little bit of community stuff, but it was mostly around there, and we did some donations to the NDG Food Depot about once a week. So those were kind of like the big things that happened that year. We developed more of the gardens, we started growing fruit trees out there, and so that year finished. And then when we moved into 2012, that's when we started working in schools, which is how kind of where now I've ended up working on more. But that year we went into 4 schools, and we built gardens at a couple of them, and then maintained pre-existing gardens. So that was kind of the big thing that started to happen that year. The market became a more serious thing. It became 2 days a week. It actually started to help raise a little bit of money, and we started hosting free workshop series in the community. That was a big thing that Jackie actually worked on. She made it so that basically every student had to go into the community and give a workshop, or give it on the campus at Loyola, and some did both. So that was kind of 2012, and then 2013, we just sort of continued with this model, but I started working, around that time I started working for the school board over the past few years. And then I started taking interns into the schools, but I was no longer at the City Farm. And Jackie continued it, and then last year bees became a new addition to the overall project. And then this year, over the past few years, it's been less about kind of trying to change everything and bring in all these new ideas, and more about just staying with our model and kind of tweaking it and then adding little things as we see fit.